it's opening your front body. So I want you to think less about back bending and more about your ability to actually, if I get hold of the breastbone and the top of the ribs, it's like you're lifting the top of the ribs up. So oftentimes in things like camel pose, this is the kneeling back bend, you will see these dramatic curved positions that are for more acrobatic humans and gymnastic people, which we are not. So what I want you to think about is when you look down into the breastbone, the idea that you can expand your crest of your ribs and you will come up and really feel you're lifting upwards rather than just leaning backwards. Okay, so we can have a sense of that because it is sort of first thing in the morning. So there's going to be front opening and there is also going to be some strength balances. So at the top of your practice mat, nice deep breath in and out, open up to the sun. Let's inhale and extend and really lifting the ribs away from the pelvis, spread out the toes. Think again about that lifting upwards and then exhaling and fold into a ragdoll. So a little bit of pausing on some of those movements is always helpful. So shake out the head and neck. Let your body drape. So at this point, spreading out all of the toes, coming into the forefeet, perhaps the back palms are resting, shoulders are dropping into your ears, and just give yourself a little sway motion. If your back thighs feel a bit tight, you can always give them a rub here, especially in the winter if you get a bit chilly. Give the thigh muscles of the hamstrings a lovely rub. Just really drape it out, and then press the palms into the mat. Step back to all fours and finding our cat-cow move. So breathing in as you try to draw the open chest through the gap. So imagine pulling your heart center forward. No need to strain the neck. So just opening through the chest and then exhaling, rounding. And on the rounding, maybe bring your knees a little closer to the heels of the hands. And try to curl tailbone in and down, and at the same time lift your hips up towards the nips so you find more elongation in that spinal column. And moving a little faster if you wish, or staying mindful of this spacing of the vertebrae. And even on the cat-cow, you can come onto fist if that feels good for you. So taking knuckles into mat and the thumbs coming forward. Inhaling and exhaling. And then release the buttocks towards the feet, lengthening out into pose of extended child's pose. A little bit of swaying side to side. Slide onto all fours, take the right palm out to the right, or again, choose to make a fist or right hand on the block and sweep open. Post twist, just try to open that chest. Left side and open through the right. And repeat, going over to the left side, extending. Remember to also rotate your pelvis, so letting the hips be involved. Tuck and curl your toes under now, push the balls of the feet into the mat and rise into a crouching dog. Inhale, I like to bring the toe knuckles, heels and ankles together. Exhale, moving into plank. And then I'm going to go knees down, lowering. You can, of course, lower your plank from plank rod. And bring palms just beside the ears or the top of your head. Shoulders roll back, rising to a small, sort of soft half cobra or sphinx. And then perhaps rising a little more if that's comfortable for you this morning. Inhale as you exhale, pull that chest forward and down. Hands over the shoulders and curl the toes, rising up to down face dog. And then step your right foot forward, left knee down, right knee above the right ankle. And as you lift from crescent lunge, just coming into, this sense of the left knee on the mat, which maybe you've got a blanket here or you'll put a block there. Lace your fingers together, bring them around the back of your skull. Find the breath. And you want to be really conscious of a great intentional pressing through that right foot. So you can stay in this very upright high pelvis or begin to lower the pelvis and maybe just lifting elbows a little wider, lifting the heart away from the navel. And let the back of the skull, just let it rest into the cradled palms for another breath. Releasing. Press the palms, frame the foot, lift the back knee, high lunge. Inhale, exhale here, and slide back to down face dog. And then, of course, lovely to pedal or sway those hips, or a little bit of both. Left foot forward, high lunge to low lunge. And if you want to, soften the back foot, because that kind of changes the relationship of the ankle to the knee. And again, lace fingers together. Bring them behind the back of the skull. Sort of here, just hugging those inside thighs, eyes to the horizon. And you can bring the elbows in and out a few times. And then soften down, if possible. Letting the pelvis release, and there will be a little more opening in your right thigh there, in the right hip flexor. And even if you are able to bring your body gazing towards the sky, remember that we're trying to lift the heart away from the pelvis first. Press the palms into the mat, framing the foot, curl the back toes, high lunge. And then step forward. Feet are going to move a little wider, so shoulder or even mat wide. Personally, it's quite nice to come mat wide. And fold over the legs, draping. A little bit of sway. Shake out the head and neck, and really feel deep with crown below heart. And then place the right fingertips in line with the right toes. Left hand on your hip. Bending into the right knee. Obviously make sure that knee tracks forward. And then open into the arms parallel position. Looking up, breathing. Exhale, folding. Again, checking the knee above the ankle. Left fingertips line up. The left knee bends significantly. The right leg is firm and straighter. And then spiral into your rotation, spreading the chest. And exhale again. You have a choice here. You can fold deeply again and make some little circles or some swaying moves. Or you can come into a elbow supported chair type of squat pose and just lift your chest here. So the Utkatasana style pose, even with the elbows resting, is going to be powerfully strong for your thighs and your legs, and maybe your tail is moving down. And the ragdoll position is really calming, of course. So maybe a little mixture of both. And then reach your arms back, lace the fingers behind you, or come into affirmation, or just squeeze the upper arms together. Maybe stay mat wide, or you can adjust your feet. And then exhale, drop over the legs. Try and pull. Be consciously pulling the shoulder blades away from the ears. And depending on you, you might find that you can firm your legs a little bit more if you wish, or bend them more. Exhale, exhale. And as you let the arms straight down, start to press through the feet, unravel the spine, rolling bone by bone, rolling up segment by segment, looking down at the toes. Once you are fully stacked, float the head and roll the shoulders generously. And then bring the feet to mountain. So it's narrow hip wide towards the top of the mat. Pranamasana. Palms to your heart center. And as you breathe here, in the pose of Pranamasana, let's just have a moment to reflect on the yoga tradition, which is inviting you to, I'm just going to get my lesson plan, is inviting you to create and embrace specific intention to be in the present moment. So to move inside your lived experience, to perhaps as your palms come to the heart and chest, to let this mudra, Anjali mudra, the namaste that we all know and love, to let that be a reminder of your ability to connect to your breath in this moment. Perhaps close eyes and let eyes close with ease. No frowning, no gripping of the jaws. Let your body, through the 2 feet, sense the meeting of Mother Earth. And as you inhale and exhale, let this be a reminder to you to observe more and react less. So that when we can find in the winter season especially, and as we lead up to the festive season and perhaps social diaries become full and perhaps work diaries become full, and Lucy, perhaps your work diary is becoming very full with concerts and engagements. What we would be liking ourselves to understand is that yoga off the mat will enable us to not overreact to situations. So we're trying to use our breath, body, and our pranic energy to be in a state of observation and responding to ease our own selves through the winter season. And well done, everyone. Releasing the palms now. Spread the hands, spread the thumbs away from the fingers. And salutation to the sun. Inhale, and as you inhale and lift, look down at the chest, look down at the heart. Maybe bend the knees a little bit more than you thought. Think about a bridge pose on the mat. And then start to lift. And as you look to the heart, start to arc open, but with the gaze to the heart. And then if that's okay, you can do 1 or 2 things. You can bring the eye gaze towards the point where the wall meets the ceiling. Make sure that the ears are in line with the upper arms. Join those hands together, almost like you've got a head sandwich. Or again, lace the fingers around the back of the skull and just encourage, not just this is not, I am looking at the ceiling. So you're trying to get that lovely lifted arc of engagement. So the front body opens and you are still easeful in the breath. And recenter. Inhale again. As you exhale, you can circle the arms and release, of course, down to the mat. And let the crown fold down. So a little bit different on this next part of the flow. Step your right foot back, right knee down. Top of the foot softens. And inhaling, take the palms together as if holding a gift. And lift and swing the arms back, and then up to the sky for 1. Lift the body, arms press back, and sweep for 2. Breathing as you lift and energize, and release and open. And then reach your palms down. Bending your right knee a little bit, so as you lift into the right foot, let it bend maybe a few times, because what you'll notice is how the knee moves into the mat differently, and it might be for your body that you just bend and stay here for a moment, which is going to affect your leg. And then I'm going to ask you to turn your left foot out a little bit, and just bring your palms on the inside. Rotate and take the left arm behind you. So open your chest. Right palm is on the earth. Press earth away enough. And then if you can take hold of that foot in any way, just a soft one, and then reach back and lean back a little more. Just creating this bow shape in the body. Got my opposite hand foot. And then relax, sweep down, press the palms in. Lift and release to down face dog, or you can always allow a little bit of a child pose in between. Press out through the feet, lengthen the feet, pedal the legs. Coming into plank, exhaling, hug through the midline, squeeze those inner thighs. Lowering or knees down, lowering. Please choose Sphinx pose, Cobra pose, medium, high, low, or lengthen out through the tops of the feet. Place the hands down beside the nipples or the medium, high rib cage position, and drive the arms under and finding your up face dog. So your choice to handstand and find your up face dog, or of course the other options. Be satisfied with your choice. Reach the buttocks towards the feet. Inhale, exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, down face dog. Sweep now your right leg up to the sky, curling, lifting, lengthening. And bring the right knee in towards the heart, rounding. And then slide that right leg through to the left. So we go into a fallen triangle balance. Outer edge of your right foot slides. Both hands are pressing like plank. And then press the left foot back. I usually take the right hand to the right. So I've got 4 points of contact on the mat. And opening out mindfully. Lifting away. And I always think it's worth really pausing in arm balances to just check in with where you are at. From here, take the left hand onto your left hip and slide the right leg under you. So now your knee is down and you might have to adjust. The left foot comes maybe a little further forward and your right knee is below your hip. And as you lift the left chest elbow, so revolve the left side of the heart, chest elbow. Left palm comes behind the back of the skull. I'm going to come onto a fist now on the right palm, cradling the back of the skull, and lean to the side, lean back. And it's just trying to really pull those ribs around. Slightly looking up, very slightly looking up, and then just extending the left arm away if that's appropriate to you. And in actual fact, the pose doesn't really look that dramatic, but it feels very opening, I find, through the left side. Breathe, 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 and then releasing down. Pivot so that your pelvis now faces the mat. Back toes are curled. And then lift the right knee so you're in kind of like a 1.5 leg plank. And then rise the hips. Reach the right leg up to sky again for dog splits. Step the right foot under your heart, left foot down. Rising up to high warrior. Crescent lunge is the one with the knee down, and the warrior one is with the knee up. Yeah, of course. High lunge. Inhale, exhale, bring the palms to the heart. And then as you come forward, skim those left toes up. And you've brought that left knee into a knee fold, and then just sweep it out to the left and come into a very soft and delicate tree pose, or choose to bring the heel into your perineum, into the root of you, and stand proud, tall, hugging through the buttocks, opening up through your pelvis. And then we'll bring the thumbs and fingers together, Gyan Mudra, and just into a lovely, spacious tree. Trees are representing our wisdom, the tree of life. Maybe it's a little bit breezy. And then let's bring the palms in. Release the foot. Breathe well. Back into your mountain Tadasana, palms into the heart. Feel the cleansing actions of yoga, how it has changed your feelings inside. We inhale, sweep the arms up to salutation to the sun. Bend your knees a lot or a little bit, or not at all, according to your body. And then start to lift, looking at the heart. Lift the heart away from the pelvis, arc back. Cradle the head if it's appropriate, and move back a little more if you can without strain. Breathe and recenter. Another breath may be required. And then fold easy down and ragdoll or uttanasana. So once you've folded, choose to firm the legs or to keep in that softer knee position. Left knee steps back. Left knee down, toes are tucked or soften the foot. Crescent lunge, inhale. And then we're going to lift the chest, sweep the arms back. And then breathe in and out, just moving mindfully. Perhaps 3 times. Hugging and rising. And then bring the hands down on the inside. Turn your right foot out a little. And just let your body soften those hips more, perhaps. And then bending that left leg a few times, just getting into the feel of it. Because when you bend the leg, and Sandra might feel this, the front thigh starts to pull. And sometimes this kind of action of just bending and bringing the heel towards the buttock, what it's doing is contracting the hamstring to lengthen the front thigh. And sometimes that can cause cramp if you do this too quickly. So we're bending and lowering a few times, and then turn towards your right thigh and twist. You can stay here, or can you catch your right hand around those left toes and then sort of open up and back. So you've got a little bow, archer's bow. Breathe in and out. Spread your energy throughout the posture. Press the palms, curl the toes, lift and step back to down face dog. Pedaling, pedaling, pedaling. And we're going to use plank. Knees down, lowering or lowering, tops of feet pressing, cobra sphinx, or again, mild. So anything soft here is absolutely perfect. And then some of us might want to practice up face dog, rolling the shoulders back, lifting, and then squeezing those inside thighs together. You're on the tops of the feet. And try to blossom the heart through the gap. And maybe the face is forward, or there's a light gaze upwards. Curl the toes. Press back to extended child's pose, or a second down dog here. Well, it's not really a second down dog, but you know what I mean. And let's lift the hips high to the sky. Breathe and extend your left leg. Splitting the legs or hip opener dog. Left knee comes to the heart, hover, rounding. And then spiral around a little. Bring your left leg sliding through the gap. And press your right foot down. And you'll have to adjust a little bit here. So you've still got 4 parts of your body on the mat. And then spread out through the left hand and lift your hips. And can you find left to right spacious arm opening, the wings of the heart. Squeeze through the legs. Left palm is a fist or is on a block, and if you need to come down and adjust, that is fine. And then I'm going to ask you to slide the left knee under you. And take the right hand on the hip as you do so, but then take the right hand, please, behind the skull. Quite good to come onto a fist on your left palm, or again, please think about using a yoga block or brick, and then revolve the ribs up. Perhaps lay the head back a little and wing out through the elbow, fanning the chest. From here, you can just rest a little more into the breath, or reach the right arm over the head and back, and really enjoy that intense side energy. You want to be a little bit more aware of the pelvis and the back body. Try not to stick your bum out, so lengthen that tail. That's a long hold, isn't it? Come round to press the palms, and as you pivot, so that your left knee is below the hip, right ball of the foot down, lift into 1.5 leg plank. And sweep the left leg up, press away, breathing. And then take that left foot underneath you, grounded perhaps through both feet, and rise up to warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1, first warrior. And look, you know what happens when we're flowing is if something lands in the wrong position, we just readjust, just tidy up your pose, just come into the pose. You know, you've got time. We're not here to be perfection every second of every day. I want you to be embracing the postures for their full benefit. So reminders that in Virabhadrasana 1, the left knee now is above the left ankle, the right leg is really striding back, palms face, and clearly this is an invitation again to open that front chest. Then we'll lace the palms together. Maybe you find this is helpful, your choice. Then let's slide the hands into the heart. As you step forward, skim the right foot coming round into hip opener. And then I'm going to adjust and bring the heel into the inner thigh. You're pressing foot to thigh, thigh to foot. Gyan Mudra. Opening out wide. Spread the palms. This is lovely as well, sort of making this little hat crown. Can you stay, please, in Vrikshasana for longer than you thought? So just breathe and stay and linger. Shoulders are down. Shoulders are soft. Tree wisdom. And let's release. Well done, everybody. Stay in mountain now. Squeeze your feet together. Flow arms overhead. Take hold, please, of your right wrist. Elbows soft. Bring those elbows back. And slide to the side. Centering. Left wrist. And slide to your side. And you can pull your arms more if you prefer. Once again, side to side. And release, hit the beam. And release, a few circles. Just going into circles. I'm kind of like bending my knees at the same time. Circle, circle. And then bring your hands, can you bring your hands around that breastbone? And can you bring the hands around the back of the ribs? So how does it feel to stand in this bird wing position? Some people will have their hands on the waist. You may even have to have your back palms sort of on the buttocks, yeah? So it kind of depends on the bones and how they meet your body. So obviously just be in the space that's right for you. And press the thumbs in. Look at the feet, separate the feet hip wide, and then look into the heart. Lift and arc back a bit. Release that throat. Don't let that head hang. And then push. So you can only use your hands to push back. So what I want you to feel at this moment in the bird wing is that some partner in the room is holding you to support you. It may be that your hands meet on the back like a dove, the dove mudra. Just use the best of your ability there. So you're opening into your standing camel, bend knees maybe, try again, look at the heart, lift, arc, and then you're supporting yourself, and then push yourself back. It just feels, I think, quite nice. You may not agree. And then remember that when we come to actual camel and we kneel down, we do want to be supported under those knees. So Pranamasana, and sun salutation, big circle inhale, exhale Uttanasana, or your easy fold, and step back to all fours, knees down. Right fist to the right and sweep open again, inhale, circle down. Sweep to the other side, left arm down, inhale, exhale, and then circle your arm down. And make sure those knees are safe, curl the toes, bring your feet to the mat edge first of all, but have your knees in hip wide. So this is always a nice safe place to start the pose. Hands into prayerful and just relax. And you might even want to look down and check that those thighs are parallel. And then bring the hands around the back ribs, around the back of the waist, into that sense again of someone helping you to move into posture. Just lifting heart is enough. So if you want to stay very upright, extending, that's fine. Otherwise, arc yourself. Just feel the opening. If your thighs move back, you will feel that. You'll feel the thighs change. But you don't have to ram your thighs forward like they're pressing into a brick wall, because sometimes that will hurt the lumbar back or the tail region. So just think about that you're not just leaning indiscriminately. Lifting heart away, and then bring fingertips to heels, or really find support. In through nose, out through lips. You can even make a lovely sound, because my experience in Camel Ustrasana is that some people stop breathing and they just hold the breath, and that isn't the idea of this one. So make a sound if it helps you. And then come to sitting on your feet. And exhale and twist, just lightly twisting left and right. And you can even, If you're happy to be kneeling down, you can even bring your little arm wings out and just spiral like this, or like this. So, I mean, I'm not suggesting that you need to twist fast and your spine isn't nourished, but you know, those very quick rotations that are used in Kundalini yoga are really quite good, I think. Let's come back to camel. Remember, please, now that if Ustrasana camel is not for you, or you've already used too many back bends in today's flow, then please choose the option of child's pose and resting, or come and lay on your back body. I'm going to curl the toes, but this time bring the knees parallel to the back knees. Sorry, bring the ankles parallel to the backs of the knees, not the wider position. Lifting open, arc back, holding onto the heels and attempting to burst that chest open. In through nose, out through mouth. And you will want to use 3, perhaps deep breath there, or even 2 or 5. And then bring your legs forward, sitting on your sit bones, with your knees bent, and your choice here is to open out your thighs in Tara Asana, so not butterfly, but Tara Asana pose with a diamond shape in the legs. Fold forward here, or you can have your knees together and you can just fold over the bent knees. And because that is a seated fold, I personally did not want that pose to in any way look like Paschimottanasana. Instead, you know, do have those knees bent, so there's sort of, it's a softer invitation. Now make sure you are warm enough. Bring the back to earth and hug your knees and massage your back. Let your eyes close easily. Let the whole of your back meet the earth. And if you want to, shake out your legs, and of course then slide legs one at a time into earth, down into Shavasana. You can also, in your Shavasana, shake out your hands, fingers and wrists. And let's return to allowing yourself to enrapture this moment. Remembering that the state of yoga is being here now, being fully present, being whole, and accessing your body, your mind, your emotions, your mood, your energy in a complete way. So we encourage less distraction, more connection. In this way, yoga and the state of yoga is said to be a fantastic freedom and liberation, because you are free to move, free to think, and free to be who you are. As your eyes are closed with ease, soften the forehead, the eyebrows, and the temples. Let there be no tension in the face or the jaws or the chin. And perhaps your chin falls down towards the notch in the collarbone. So you just gently lengthen your neck and slightly nod the chin down due to the fact that we've used quite a lot of gazing up in today's flow. You might even be compelled to roll the head left and right and then recenter your head. As you exhale, let the shoulders drop, let the collarbone soften, and flow warm energy down upper arms. Relax the elbows, the lower arms, the wrists, and let heavy hands and fingers fall open onto the mat. We haven't got a 20-minute Shavasana, but we can take advantage fully here now of being in a stillness of the body. As you exhale, let the mind come down into the belly and feel the light, subtle undulation of the belly breathing. When we can evoke our belly breathing in a soft way, we are creating a physical shift from fight or flight, freeze, towards rest and digest states. So it's one of the quickest ways of creating transformation in the physiology of the body human. Perhaps you want to bring a palm to the belly. As you let your belly rise and fall very lightly, you may also feel the chest. What else can you observe without overreaction? And apologies for the shorter version of this practice today due to my technical issues at the beginning. But I'm conscious that you will want to go ahead with the rest of your day. So now gently open eyes. As you bend knees and place feet standing, offer a floor twist. So let your legs fall comfortably left and fall comfortably right. Without rushing, flinging, or pulling yourself about, come to sitting gracefully and calmly. And as we bring our palms together in a state of yoga unity today, let's breathe in for joy and breathe out for freedom. And then breathe in for us all. And breathe out for us all to continue to meet together in unity and community. And despite our separate yoga rooms and our separate locations, may the practice of yoga serve to unite us in health and wellness.